blasphemous. That is blasphemous.
Hey man, can I just say, I'm excited.
What are you excited for?
Sorry. Go ahead, do your
What are
intro.
you excited for?
Because like that music, man, I'm not gonna lie. I don't. It's kind of our intro deal, so it gets me excited, ready to talk. I'm not gonna lie. I was ready to just go home. Home meaning other room.
Yeah, you're already at home. Welcome to another episode of Around the Clock Podcast. We talk all things sports and culture. I'm your host, Dom. Alongside me, virtually, my co-host, Gary.
At least you got your stuff down.
Gary Wayne.
Yeah.
Brandon, the entertainer Wayne. Doing things a little bit differently right now. What's your social?
Dude, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay to say his last name, but don't say my last name, bro.
Y'all have the same last name at this point.
I don't care. That. People won't figure that out.
So Brandon goes by the entertainer, aka
our papa was a Rolling Stone.
B-Dub. Well,
yeah.
He kind of was. I mean, Pat Mahomes' senior is kind of a Rolling Stone, though.
Yeah,
your pops just had a little this shit happens. Right. But yeah, welcome back. As you guys probably tuned into the last episode, we had a special guest. Our lovely co-host was unable to make it. And so we found his replacement. He did really good.
This is replacement for just the episode. It was like a substitute teacher.
It was more of a trial run, probationary period. So we got you back in the mix, but now you're on a 90-day probationary period.
Kids always have more fun when the substitutes at school.
They really do. Roll in that.
Shout out to Brian B. Shining. He held it down.
Roll in the movie thing, the TV on the TV train.
No. He held it down. I commend him. He did a great job. He's very pro Chiefs. But he did know his stuff.
As someone from Kansas City you should be pro Chiefs, because what's good for the Chiefs is good for the city. So, but yeah, man, let's dive into it. Super Bowl reaction, Super Bowl 58. The Kansas City Chiefs beat the San Francisco 49ers to go for a repeat back-to-back and establish that dynasty. In the words of Brian B. Shining last week, the Chiefs do own the 2020s, and the 2020s aren't even halfway done yet. Hell of a soundbite there. For any initial thoughts on the game, I think it panned out exactly how I expected, to be honest with you.
Is that right?
I thought it was going to be a defensive game. That's exactly what it was. I knew that it was going to come down to the better quarterback. I knew that it was going to be a game of turnovers. And yeah, so be it.
Nope.
Technical difficulties for those at home watching.
Back away from the mic a little bit. Yeah,
I think it was a good game. It was a great game on both sides of the ball. I think there were some missed opportunities early on in the game. Don't know if it was nerves or whatever the case may be, but it turned out to be a really good game. You get an overtime Super Bowl,
Yeah.
As fans, that's exactly what we want.
It was honestly one of the, in my opinion, one of the best Super Bowls I've seen in the last five years.
Yeah.
It was more exciting than last year, I felt like. Even though last year's was a really good Super Bowl, it was much more exciting than the LA and the Bengals game. I thought it was an incredible game. So defensive, it was really down to the defense. I mean, giving up 19 points, that is, that's spectacular on both ends. I will say I think the Chiefs obviously capitalized on the 49ers losing Greenlaw early, or, basically in the second half of that game. Or I guess he went out, 8 minutes left in the second quarter or something like that. I think he went out in the first half.
Yeah.
Which was huge, because then you saw what exactly happened.
Yeah.
Middle of the field open wide the fuck up. They parted their Red Sea.
Man, I think Travis Kelce had one catch for 1 yard
in the first half.
And then
went 9 for 90. I think 90 or something like that total.
Yeah.
For the game.
Yeah. So,
hey, didn't somebody get hurt coming out the tunnel? Did you hear about that?
I didn't hear about that. They must have heard a starter
on a 49er. Yeah, I think it was a backup, but I guess he got hurt coming out of the tunnel. Like, What the hell? That sucks. Make it always Super Bowl. You done it.
Yeah, I think Brock Purdy played as well as Brock Purdy could. I don't know if he silenced the critics on the game manager, but he made plays. He found guys that were open. I'm not gonna discount his ability as a football player. I think obviously Patrick Mahomes is just a much better, much talented. He's been there before. He's much more experienced in the big game. I think all of that matters. Brock Purdy is a second-year guy playing.
I would, and that's part of the reason I would never understand calling someone a game manager during their first full season.
Yeah,
as a starter, and I'm like, dude, he played last year. He got hurt. He didn't come out the gates as a starter. At last year, and he took over and he got hurt. And then this was his first full season as an NFL starter, and we're already like putting labels on him and stuff, and it just didn't make any sense to me. And the
honestly,
guy,
when you watch him play, he's a pretty intelligent quarterback.
The guy is phenomenal. He is phenomenal. There's no other way around it.
I don't know if I'm going to say that.
You look at the tape, he's phenomenal. You look at the numbers, he's phenomenal. It is what it is.
When you look at the tape, his team is phenomenal, and he's surrounded by a very talented cast. And so, is it because he's white? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm looking at the time, and I'm trying to figure out why are we spending so much time on a losing quarterback on this segment. Okay, who gives a shit? Let's talk about Pat Mahomes and his greatness.
Yeah, we can talk about Patrick Mahomes.
We know about Pat Mahomes and his greatness. There's nothing to figure out there. We're still trying to figure out Purdy and his greatness, because he did lead them to a title game last year. And then led them to
anywhere. He didn't lead them anywhere. That team is absolutely loaded. I could lead them there then if I was a quarterback. Good Lord. That team is absolutely loaded. They should be there. They should be there with any quarter. That same team just went there with another quarterback 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Like, what's the big deal? Like, come on.
I don't want to spend too much time on 49ers because I want to talk about Super Bowl champions. But I will say this, like, that I personally think the term loaded with the 49ers is used not very good, because they've got the best running back in the game of football. They don't have a top 5 receiver. I mean, Brandon Ayuk is borderline top 5. Was he in your top 5 early in the season when we talked about this?
What do you call Debo?
Was he in your top 5?
He's still not in my top 5.
He's in nobody's top 5.
I would take
Kittle, sure,
Debo.
you can say he's top. I don't even know. Honestly, as far as Kittle goes, he's in the bottom 5 for me when it comes to tight ends. Like, I'm taking
bottom
Travis Kelce.
5.
He's at the
bottom
bottom of that,
5.
He's at the bottom of that 5 for sure.
Oh, the bottom of the 5. So you said he's
Travis
like 5th.
Kelce over him. I'm taking Mark Andrews over him any day of the week. I'm taking homeboy out of Cleveland over him.
But they still have a top 5 tight end.
Yeah,
that's what you're saying.
But how many top 5 tight ends are, like? It's not like it's
There's 5 of them.
But it's not like it's a huge list to choose from. Ain't that many guys that are playing that well. We talked about earlier in the year.
There's a huge drop off after that.
Yeah,
but listen, Brandon, you're not taking Debo over Devontae Adams, Jamar Chase, Tyreek Hill. There's a long list of guys before you get to Debo.
So what?
I'm saying,
what team on fucking God's green earth would not want a Debo on their team?
What team would not?
Every team would. The Chiefs would, for damn sure. Like, it's just, that makes no goddamn sense.
But let's not act like the Chiefs didn't have Tyreek Hill before. Let's not act like they don't have a Hall of Fame.
Why are we even talking about Tyreek Hill? We don't even need to talk about Tyreek Hill.
We're talking about the dynasty.
We're talking about how they have a loaded team. Their team is good. Like, it was not too far fetched for when Cam Newton said he is the 10th best player. I don't believe he's the 10th best player. I think he is like probably number 8 though.
So by calling them loaded, you have to call half of the NFL loaded when it comes to offense. Are the Eagles loaded? Are the Eagles loaded?
Not as loaded as the 49ers.
What are they missing? What are they missing? They're missing a Christian McCaffrey. That's it.
Yep.
Their receivers are better than receivers on the 49ers.
And the entire defense of the 49ers.
According to your logic, Jalen Hurts is miles ahead of Brock Purdy. So that seems like it'll give an offensive boost, right?
You would assume so.
I think he is miles ahead of him, but he has a lot lesser of a team. Like the fact that y'all can't see, the fact that y'all can't see that
a lot lesser of a team.
Brandon,
the Eagles
watch,
do.
You have to watch the games. You have to watch the games.
I'm watching the games, and I'm seeing if is it a better game if Josh Allen is a quarterback? Is it a better game if Burrow is a quarterback?
We don't know that because we watched Josh Allen. We watched Josh Allen with a pretty decently loaded offense as well.
Not as loaded as this.
But that is subjective.
Come on, man.
I'm going to tell you right now. I'm not spending this whole episode talking about the 49ers being a loaded roster, but that is very subjective.
It's not subjective. Look at the numbers. Look at the all pros. Look at the all pros on their team. They have the most all pros on the offense and defensive side of the ball. I'm not just talking about just offense. They have the most all pros out of any team in football. Like, what the fuck are we looking at?
Okay, so what
like, come on.
So Brock Purdy cannot be elite because he has a good team.
Yeah,
that makes absolutely no sense to me. It makes no sense to me. Brock Purdy is a game manager because he has good players. That makes no sense.
Jordan played on a loaded roster. Nope, nobody calls him a game manager.
That's because at the end of the games, that's because at the end of the games, Jordan took over the game and won.
And that's what Purdy did.
No, he didn't. What he did? What did he do?
He did it in the divisional game.
He did it in the Super Bowl.
He did it in the conference championship game.
You're comparing him to Jordan. We're going to talk about championships. He had a chance to win the game.
He lost to the greatest quarterback ever. The greatest quarterback ever. Outside of Tom Brady, he lost to him. So of course,
yes, he did.
That's expected.
Yes, he did.
But I don't. Like,
so what are you saying here? There's two quarterbacks left, and Purdy's one of them.
Yeah,
I don't know.
And he lost.
I don't know what to tell you.
And the 49ers are going to roll with him next year, and they're probably going to roll with him the year after.
Jalen Hurts lost.
Jalen
Hurts lost.
I'm not saying they should.
Lost.
I'm not saying they shouldn't.
Lamar Jackson lost.
Stop trying to act like this guy is better than he really is. He's not that good.
You're obviously not watching the games. You don't throw 4,200 yards by accident. You don't manage the game and end up with 4,200 yards and 30-something
loaded roster. I mean,
like, what the hell?
I truly don't believe he could throw 4,200 yards with the Bears roster. Don't think he could do it.
I think the amount of quarterbacks who could is short.
Yeah, he's not on the Bears roster. Like, at the end of the day, at the end of the day, Brock Purdy makes good passes. He makes good decisions, and the stats speak for themselves. Numbers don't lie. That's my final thought. Listen,
these aren't hypotheticals I'm throwing out here. These are actual real numbers. I'm not saying if Purdy was on this team, if this and that. And it's not like the 49ers went like – it's not like they drafted these guys. I'm sorry. Brandon Ayuk was drafted. Greenlaw, Debo was drafted. They were drafted. Kittle was drafted.
We're gonna move on. If Patrick Mahomes was on that roster and he threw for 4,200 yards and he was top 5 in touchdowns and top 5 in passing yards when he finished the season, there would be no conversation about Patrick Mahomes being a game manager with those exact same stats.
Exactly.
There would be no conversation about it.
Because he'd still be winning championships.
Yeah, but there'd be no conversation.
So it just doesn't matter. It does not matter. He'd still be winning championships.
Who did Purdy lose to?
The greatest. The greatest.
You make it seem like he lost to nobody.
I'm the biggest fan here. He lost to the greatest.
Bro, he almost lost to fucking Jordan Love. Let's just stop acting like.
Almost again. I'm not talking.
He almost lost to Jordan Love. Let's get out of here.
I'm not talking hypotheticals. You're talking hypotheticals.
Yeah, he won the game.
He actually won the game.
You can't do. Anyway,
almost lost to Jordan Love.
He went down and did exactly what you wanted him to do.
Let's move on. I don't want to spend too much time talking about the losing quarterback.
We'll talk about it more in the offseason. Back to the Chiefs, back to the winners at hand. Patrick Mahomes obviously solidifies himself in greatness, and he had already done that prior to the Super Bowl. The Chiefs have now solidified a dynasty. I think we can all agree on that.
Yeah.
Yes.
I agree with that.
That wasn't a rhetorical question.
Like I said, you guys, back to back.
Yeah, you can't deny it anymore. Obviously, he's still chasing greatness within Tom Brady, which we'll see what happens as his career progresses. Do we think that the Chiefs can get 3 in a row? I'm going to go out on a limb and say yes, because I was not confident in this Chiefs team going into this season. I wasn't confident midseason. And I wasn't confident that they could win a Super Bowl. I'll be the first to say it on this podcast. I'm sure I said it on several episodes. I was frustrated as a fan watching what they were doing. But I'm not going to discount anything that Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes could put together. As long as those two are playing together, I definitely think that they could go back.
There's a lot.
There's a lot of gaps to fill. A lot of gaps to fill.
Well, no, I mean, like this is it's February, right? So this is real very early to think that.
I'm going out on a limb and saying I believe it's possible.
Listen, I've lived in Kansas City my whole entire life. I know exactly how this Kansas City fans, the prime one right here, how they think. The first fumble, they're gonna be throwing their hands up. The first fumble of the season next year. They're gonna be the first fumble. They're gonna be like, this team don't know. They don't got no discipline.
We cannot make the postseason this coming season. I'd be okay. Like I've got to witness in my lifetime as a Chiefs fan.
You just said you think they win 3 in a row.
I think it's possible. But if they don't, I'm not gonna be throwing my hands up at fumbles and stuff. Bro, I've got to witness my favorite team win 3 Super Bowls. There's only 2 people on this call that have been able to witness that. Brandon hasn't witnessed it. Me and you have.
I got to witness. I got to witness my team win a Super Bowl. That's all I care about.
A Super Bowl. I've got to witness them go through 4 in the last 5 years and win 3. If they don't win another for 5 years, because let's not forget, the Patriots went on a 10-year drought after winning 3.
When you say you're going to be okay if they miss the playoffs, what does that mean? Like, bro, what does that look like?
As a fan, I'm satisfied with what my team has given this city, so I'm going to still be a fan. You act like I wasn't a fan 5 years ago or 10 years ago. I've been a fan my whole life. So if we don't make the postseason, it's not going to be the end of the world for me. My season tickets will just be cheaper.
Stop. This call right here is frustrating me, man. I'm like starting to wonder why I even did. Like, that is a bold-faced lie. That is a lie. That is 100% a lie.
Bro, if
like,
we miss the
you
playoffs,
will be frustrated. You'll be as frustrated as I am about that comment.
But I'm not gonna be sell the team, get rid of Patrick Mahomes. Kelsey needs to retire.
I'm not saying all that. I'm not saying all that.
That's what you just said. Kansas City Chiefs fans. No,
I said you'll be frustrated.
You said, the first.
You said you will be okay. And I asked you, what does okay look like?
Was I not okay before we got Patrick Mahomes? Was I not okay before we got Alex Smith and Andy Reid?
But no, because now you know what winning is like. It's Super Bowl or bust every year. That's it. That's all it is.
But Brandon, to win 3 and 5 doesn't happen very often. There's been literally 3.
I understand that. To do it. I understand. Everyone else around the league understands how hard it is to win in this league. But when you've gotten a taste of winning for so long, you tend to want that every single year. Absolutely. And then when you go to if you miss the playoffs, listen,
I'm not gonna sell my season tickets if we miss the playoffs.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that you're saying that. What I am saying, okay, that's good. What I am saying is if you have a healthy Patrick Mahomes and you miss the playoffs, you are going to be pissed. And I guarantee you, in today's world, people are going to be calling for Andy Reid's job. That's what's going to happen.
You're trying to combine me in with every single Chiefs fan. I'm not.
Absolutely, yes, I am.
Chiefs fan. I'm not.
Absolutely.
I will be okay. I will be fine. It's not the end of the world. Like I said, I've got to witness something that there are still franchises out there that haven't got to witness it, and I've got to witness it 3 times in my adult life. I will be fine. And maybe I don't know how to put that into words to get you to understand that. Of course, I want my team to win Super Bowl after Super Bowl after Super Bowl. Of course, I want to make the postseason. Of course, I want to own the division. I want to own the AFC. But I have seen enough. I could die a happy man, is what I'm saying. I will be okay. I will be able to look back if we don't win ever again and say, you know what? I was there in 2020. I was there in 2022. I was there in 2023. I was there.
You're not going to be a happy man. What you want to happen is things that have never been done before. What you want 3 in a row. That's what you want. That's what you want.
Of course, I want $1 million tomorrow, but if I don't get it, I'll be fine.
Well, just say it. Say it.
like you said,
clip
you said
this.
Hey, you said $1 million. I mean, that's a lot of money, but I mean, it's not gonna be like life changing or anything. I'm gonna lose $1 million to get blown the fuck up by Ray Lewis.
Listen, clip all this.
Here's my thing, man.
Listen. No, Gary, hold on, real quick.
Go ahead.
If the Chiefs go on like a 2 or 3 game losing streak, we want to clip everything that he is saying right now. Every single word that he is saying. And when he's venting his frustrations about how the Chiefs, they lost 2 in a row. We can't. But you said you're going to be fine.
Brandon, when have I ever said that? But find a clip from the last 10 episodes where I've said that. When the Chiefs struggled, all I said was that I don't believe that this team can win a Super Bowl. Was I pissed off when I said that? I said, no, I wasn't.
Yes, you were.
I'll bring up.
Yes, yes, you were. You were upset. You're an upset fan.
I wasn't pissed off. I wasn't saying get rid of Andy Reid. I wasn't saying.
I didn't say you were saying that, but you were frustrated. You were an upset fan.
Brandon, there's a difference between frustrated and what you're trying to express of sell the team.
I didn't. What are you talking about? Brandon, I said that's what the fans will start saying. Okay, I'm saying you were upset.
I will not do that.
You were upset.
I will be okay.
That's not the only way you can express yourself being upset, man. Calm down.
You tried to.
You're getting upset right now. You're getting upset right now, and this is how you're going to be when they lose 2 in a row.
You're just talking to talk at this point. You're literally just talking to talk.
Okay.
So we're gonna end on this.
Gary, go to your point.
Cut me off.
Gary, go to your point.
Go ahead.
Because you need to hear this. You keep talking about fans will be pissed if they don't make the Super Bowl. They've been calling for Andy Reid's job. I'm not that fan.
No, that's not what I said. I said if they don't make the playoffs.
You did say that.
I said if they don't make the playoffs. I said if they don't make. Gary, did I say that? I said if they don't make the play. You're the one that brought up the scenario of being the playoffs.
I will never call for Andy Reid's job if this team doesn't make the playoffs. I will never do that.
That's good.
Like
you won't.
Then. I won't. I will be okay.
That's good. That's good.
Brandon, I've got to experience something that you've never felt.
Yeah, that's right. I've never felt it. Yeah, that's right. But
my city is on fire for the last 5 years. This city has been doing phenomenal. 6 years.
That's great.
So if we don't win another, bro, the trajectory's already happened. I'm good. I will be fine.
That's a shitty mentality. You want to win every game.
Winning every game has nothing to do with being fine. It's like you can't wrap your head around that.
I want to win.
You cannot wrap your head around.
I want to win.
I know you want to win, but with AR-15, you're not.
Okay.
Not with C.J. Stroud in the division.
Okay. Yep, you're right. Got me on that one. Oh shit.
The whole league's got you. Go ahead, Gary.
What is going on? Just blasphemous.
I really don't have a rebuttal to any of that. Y'all went on a rampage, bro.
There is no rebuttal.
And I understand Dominique. Okay, he is content with the way things are. I think content is the word.
Yeah, for sure.
But he is a fan of this. He is a fan of the Chiefs. He is a fan of the sport. He's going to show emotions during games, before, after games. If things get rocky, that's what we do. I can't tell you how many times I've been pissed off at Mac Jones, but then sometimes he does something good, and it's, whatever.
What was that?
And then I'm right back to being pissed off again. But I'm telling you, it's so that's he can be frustrated with the way his team is playing.
Absolutely.
But
that doesn't mean
I will never disown my fandom.
I don't know if frustrated is
right.
That's a big difference
good
between half the fans. You can be frustrated. You saw
be
me
good.
Bro, I left yesterday at halftime to go watch the game somewhere else. Of course I was frustrated. I wanted to go drink. I ran out of old fashioned. I brought it up.
Why? You know why? Because Brock Purdy was getting in that ass. That's why.
That first half, they were moving the ball. Whatever his loaded roster, they were
his all pro running back fumbled on the first drive.
Yeah, I mean, so
okay. Running backs fumble.
Let's get into this.
To make him less of a running back or less of an all pro.
No, but what I'm saying is your whole thing is they're there because of these all pros and stuff. But Brock Purdy held his own more than enough. Is what I'm saying.
Sport.
Okay. Yes, he did.
Who's the current best player on the offense for the Indianapolis Colts? And then we'll move on.
Jonathan Taylor.
All right. Smart man.
Smart man.
Or
Very smart
Quentin,
man. I
or
wanted to
Quentin Nelson.
hear you say something fucking stupid, but I knew you were smarter than that. But I had to
Or
tell
Quentin
you.
Nelson. You can make an argument for Quentin Nelson if you want
We
to.
don't care about Quentin Nelson.
Or Michael Pittman.
Look, I'm here to tell you, brother. I don't know where that ain't the one I want, but
I mean, I don't know where you were trying to get to with that question. I don't know.
Well, we assumed you were going to say Anthony Richardson.
yeah, because you
He didn't.
so
He
much
played
about him.
4 games. Like why?
I wouldn't say Anthony Richardson over Gardner Minshew.
He played
my
4
opinion.
games, but you still preach about the quarter and a half he played against Houston, as if that like solidified his greatness.
He only took him a quarter and a half to beat him.
Good Lord.
I mean, what was that? It's the truth.
Anyways, let's get back into some more poor planning. So there's 7 P's I learned when I was in Missouri Western and I was in the Greek life, fraternity life, and there's 7 P's called prior what is it? Give me a sec. It's coming to me. I think it's prior proper planning prevents piss poor performance. And we saw one team implement that, and we also heard in the post game that the other team did not. And if you're curious about what I'm talking about the new overtime rules, which have been in effect the entire season, number one. So how you go an entire season of football not understanding how the postseason overtime rules work is beyond me.
I thought that was just the postseason rules.
Yeah, it's
No, it is the postseason rules.
but it's been implemented. It ain't new.
It was implemented in off season.
Yeah, it ain't new. Like you guys all knew what was happening. And I also heard an argument about how if they would have known, they would not have taken the ball. But you absolutely, I still believe they would have taken the ball because your defense had been on the field that entire time. And I guess it gives you the opportunity to have the last play of the drive, I guess, technically, and if the Chiefs don't go down and score, if they go down and just get a field goal. But I think it was, obviously it was poor on Kyle Shanahan's part for not preparing his team for that. Real big kudos to Andy Reid and whoever they brought in to kind of explain those rules as well. But I thought that was kind of shocking to me. I don't know what y'all thoughts are for that, but
no, I would say that's very shocking that these guys make millions of dollars to know what's going on, what you should be doing, and for them not to be aware of the overtime rules as professionals. I get it if it was high school, but we're talking about professionals here, and not be prepared for that. You got even if you're not prepared throughout the postseason. You got the biggest game of your life here, and you got 2 weeks to prepare, and that never came up in any meetings.
Like if this game goes in overtime, this is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to be prepared for it.
Exactly.
That was crazy. I also didn't know that regardless of the new overtime rules, every team gets a possession. So if you notice on that last drive for the Chiefs, the scoring drive, time was running out. It was like 50 seconds left or 45. It might have been under 30 seconds left when Pat snapped that ball.
Yeah.
Had they not converted that, which I think it was a 4th down anyway, but if it was a 1st or 2nd down and the clock ran out, it just would have reset the clock and they still would have got a possession. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
So I thought if they didn't score, then it was just game over. But no,
right?
They were going to continue because both teams get a equal possession of the football. So their drive wasn't finished, so they would have rolled over into the next 14-minute half or 15-minute half, whatever it was.
I got to be honest with you. I do not like these rules.
No, I hate it.
I do not like these.
And you know why I got changed? Because
the
Chiefs capitalized on it and won, and now they've capitalized on it again and won a Super Bowl. But at the end of the day, I've been a big proponent of football is not just an offensive sport. It is an offense and defensive sport. We just talked about these guys are paid millions of dollars to do one job. So on the defensive side of the football, you've got hundreds of millions of dollars lined up in contracts to stop this offense from scoring. That is part of the game. So I don't like this whole we both get an opportunity to score a touchdown.
Not at all.
No, play defense.
I agree. I
Play
agree
defense.
that it's part of the game. But, man, in overtime, it's hard to find a game that when it's overtime where both defenses aren't just gassed like a motherfucker, man.
That's part of the game.
And
dig deep, bro.
Not be digging deep.
What it is.
Like we can't sit here and say that, well, because my defense couldn't stop you, I still should get a shot.
Well, because
again, if my defense would have played well enough, we wouldn't be in this position in the first place.
I agree. I 100% agree with you. But I'm looking at that that 13-second game, and with the Bills against the Chiefs and Bills, but that basically came down to whoever won that coin toss, really, because because both defenses were. It literally did not matter. They were at the end of the game, both teams were scoring at will. Like it didn't even matter. That game could have went back and forth to over 100 points. Like it just.
Yeah, but it's still part of the game.
It is. I mean, you get tired, you get gas. Dude, that last series of the Super Bowl.
Oh my God!
It looked like they did not know what they were doing. Like they were not lined up correctly. They were running slow. Like 49ers defense were completely gassed.
If anything, in my opinion, the only way to make it make sense for me is that you play just an entire quarter. So, which they did, fortunately, and the Chiefs scored. But that'd be the only thing that would make sense to me. Fuck this. You both get an opportunity to score. Just play out a whole quarter of football. And whoever is on top at the end of that quarter wins the game. I think that's the only way to make it fair. So, screw the whole, like, you both get a possession thing. No, you just get a quarter to play. Just like in the NBA, when you go in overtime, whoever's winning when that clock hits 0 won the game. That's the only way to make it for me to make sense.
Yeah, I would definitely prefer that over these current rules.
I just think, fuck the rules, fuck the defenses. There's one man that won this game, and that's Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, his defense helped him out quite a bit as well.
Told my son,
let's not take away from that defense.
Who, Chiefs defense?
Yeah, let's not take away from that
Chiefs defense did absolutely amazing.
It wasn't just one man. It was one man that won Super Bowl MVP, as he should have, because he turned shit up in the second half. But that defense held Christian McCaffrey to under 100 rushing yards. It held him. It made him fumble the ball in the first. Well, I don't know if it made him, but it held that high-powered number all-pro offense to 19 points. And I don't know how many points they averaged on the season, but it held basically the most high-powered offense outside of the Baltimore Ravens to 19 points. So they get a huge shout-out as well. It wasn't just
100%. McDuffie absolutely killed it. Absolutely killed it. But
I think they all did. McDuffie did. Snead played well. He gave up that touchdown. He could have wrapped up a little bit better, but
yeah, I don't know why he decided to start giving up touchdowns in the playoffs. 2,
it happens,
but
man.
Whatever.
It happens.
No, it was a good game, but I mean, I don't know, man.
I can hear somebody breathing. I'm not gonna lie to you.
It's Gary.
It is.
It's Gary, man. But man, I'm telling you, man, this was one. Some dudes just got that. They got that switch, and I even told my son, I was like, listen, I was around your age when Jordan was around, and I didn't appreciate it. I just thought this happens all the time. Soak this in, what you're watching right now.
I mean, when Jordan was around, it kind of did happen quite a bit
because the Lakers frustrated with that.
The Lakers dominated.
The second time you did that.
Second time I did what?
This whole Jordan thing. It pisses me off right here.
This is Jordan level. This is Jordan level stuff.
Get a little close to the mic.
Why it wasn't Jordan level stuff when Brady was doing it?
Because he wasn't doing nowhere near the shit that Mahomes is doing within his first 6 years. He was winning championships, of course.
Jordan wasn't doing shit his first 6 years.
So Jordan didn't win his first championship until he's 28.
So what are you talking about this first 6 year stuff?
Jordan within his first 6 years, I don't know if it's just me, but remember, but I mean, he was the first man ever to be defensive player of the year and
he was
and lead the league in score.
Yeah, he
nobody
didn't win.
Nobody
he started winning championships when he got a team around him.
This was did a lot of things.
So then I apologize. This is better than Jordan type stuff than what Patrick Mahomes is doing.
It's
like,
not. Why?
Okay,
so
then
why is Jordan the pinnacle and not Brady?
I don't think. Yeah, you're right. Mahomes is the pinnacle.
Why?
Because no one's doing what Mahomes is doing.
But what do you
no,
mean?
What
no one's
doing?
What are you talking
No one is doing what he's doing. There's no one even close to doing what he's doing.
I'm as a fan, I want you to elaborate on what
when it comes to look what he just did this year. He didn't have 1,000-yard rusher. He didn't have 1,000-yard receiver. he lost two, or he only won 2 games in the month of December, went 2-3 in the month of December, and he still took that team to the Super Bowl and won. Like the fact that y'all, I don't understand what's happening right here. Why I am the only Mahomes defender in this group, but it's just like what this dude is doing.
But you have to be realist and not get amnesia.
So you can't. All right, this is what I'll say before you go, Gary. You cannot deny Brady for what his defense.
I'm not denying Brady.
I
not denying Brady.
But you're talking about a pinnacle.
You literally are.
Let's not.
I'm not.
Let's not forget that this defense. Again, I'll say it again. This defense is why Patrick Mahomes played in the Super Bowl and was able to play lights out in the second half and win a Super Bowl MVP. Like I think that we keep like trying not to talk about that, but you're talking about a pinnacle. His defense.
But when it comes to
Brady, we bring up his defense to why he won championships.
Makes no sense.
So it kind of goes hand in hand, and this is coming from a diehard fan. Patrick Mahomes is the man. He is the greatest quarterback, in my opinion, to ever walk this earth. I don't think there's anybody better than him. But he hasn't won 7 rings. He may never. I personally don't know if that'll ever be topped. But he's got.
He doesn't need to win 7 rings.
See, and that's crazy to me.
And he's already got 3.
But
you can't.
with 4 tries.
You can't set a standard and then make changes to the rules for the guy you like. And this is coming from the guy who loves him.
What's the standard?
You can't. The standard of all
is
sports
Brady.
is winning.
The standard is Brady.
So the standard is
not Jordan.
So the standard is 7 rings. That's the standard. You have to win 7 rings to be the greatest, right?
So,
that's what the standard is, right? If I'm correct.
If Brady had 3, would he be in the conversation? Let me ask you that.
No.
Okay, then. So
because he needed
the conversation.
But listen.
Stop. Listen. Because Brady had to win 5 or 6 in order to get compared to Joe Montana. Mm-hmm. And now you're telling me, oh, Mahomes don't need to do that.
No.
Like what the
he
fuck?
Doesn't.
That makes no sense.
He doesn't. Because by the end of Mahomes' career, what else is he going to have? What else is he going to have?
We don't know.
Everything else. Everything else. He is going to. He is going.
But that's a product of the game changing. Okay, that just Josh Allen is going to have amazing numbers. Herbert is going to have amazing numbers. They're going to pass. All of those guys are going to pass Peyton Manning.
Can I go now?
That's just what it is.
So Patrick Mahomes is probably going to have a couple more league MVPs. He's probably going to have. I'm not saying like yes, he still has a long way. He still has a long way to go. I know nowhere in this did I say that he is the GOAT right now.
Can I ask
but
you
what I'm saying.
Go ahead. I do have a question I want to ask you before I forget.
Go ahead.
So you said Jordan was the pinnacle or whatever, or this is Jordan-esque of what Mahomes is doing. And so I assume you believe Jordan is the greatest or the GOAT, the greatest of all time. I assume?
Yes.
Is that where you're leading? So why is the conversation different for LeBron? Because LeBron is doing exactly what you're talking about, and he's going to finish his career ahead of Jordan in pretty much every statistical category besides wins. And so why can the same be said for Mahomes, who may finish in all statistical categories, but wins?
Man, I really don't want to go into a whole rabbit hole about LeBron. I really don't want to do that right now.
But it shouldn't be a rabbit hole.
That's a
valid question. LeBron has 4 rings, but he is a better basketball player for most. If you're talking about the eye test,
that's fine. That's fine. LeBron's the greatest of all time. I'm not going down a whole rabbit hole with LeBron.
You don't believe that. You just said that you don't. So I'm trying to understand the logic of what you're talking about.
I didn't just. You brought up LeBron James. I never once said LeBron James's name.
Yeah,
you brought up LeBron James.
I brought it up as a comparison. We're comparing Patrick Mahomes to what he will be when he finishes his career, and we're talking about him being the greatest of all time, which is currently held by the name of Tom Brady.
Right. I agree with you.
And you said it's Jordan-esque what he's doing. It's never been done before.
What he is doing.
It's that. So I'm saying, why is there no conversation or argument for LeBron James, who virtually is doing the same thing?
I don't care. I'm not going to go down this whole LeBron James route because then we're going to go.
It's not about LeBron James. It's about the simple fact that the comparisons are valid. The comparisons are valid.
Dominic, hold on. You said that Mahomes does not need 7 rings. right? In order to be better than Tom Brady. I assume that's what you're saying.
Yeah, right? I was going to elaborate on it, but y'all kept go ahead.
Okay, go ahead, elaborate.
But what? Because I asked the question, what by the trajectory that he is on, what else is he going to have? And the answer is, the proper answer is pretty much everything else.
Okay.
Even if he gets 5 rings, you telling me right now, if this guy gets just 2 more championships, but he also has 2 or 3 more MVPs. He has the most passing yards in the league. He has
wait, Dominic. Wait.
I hear you. Keep going.
He has the most touchdowns. He has every single fucking passing record there is in the playoffs to have.
Okay.
You telling me that he won't be the greatest?
Okay, so to Dominic's point.
But he would need to get after the 5, he would need to get 3 more championships to be the greatest.
Wait, to Dominic's point.
That makes no damn sense.
Listen here, to Dominic's point, you're saying Jordan is better than LeBron, right?
Yes.
LeBron is 2 rings shy. Mm-hmm. He has more points, more rebounds, more assists, more wins, more everything. But he's 2 rings shy.
Right.
But somehow, Jordan is your goal over LeBron.
Now in basketball, do they mostly go off of totals or do they go off of averages in basketball? Tell me. I mean, just tell me. I don't know. Just tell me. Do they mostly go off of averages or do they go off of totals on everything that they do stats wise?
When the totality of your career is over, you're measured by the totality of what you've done.
So they're measured
when you finish NFL when you finish the NFL career. We talk about Brady having 65.
They don't talk about
yards.
Hold on, they don't talk about field goal percentages. They don't talk about percentage. They talk about totals in basketball. That's what they talk about. That's what they judge. You're judged on is your total points, right? That's what you're saying.
I think
like your total points, you're judged on.
Done, yes, when it's all said and done. If you were the all-time leading scorer, but that's what you're saying right now, Brandon. You're doing the exact same argument for football.
But so
you're measured.
Do you
want
to go off averages in football?
Too.
I mean, I just think it's like just weird, man. That like one guy can lead in scoring, and be the scoring leader 10 years, and one dude do it one time, but he's the GOAT.
I've said this. It
just doesn't make any sense.
And I'm gonna keep saying it again because I'm not gonna move the goalpost because my favorite quarterback should be in the GOAT conversation or my favorite team should be in the Dynasty conversation. I'm not gonna move the goalpost for anybody. I've said it before, and I'm gonna say it again. Winning matters in sports. That's it. Point blank. Period. So when you want to talk about the greatness, you want to talk about the top teams, the top dogs. They are all measured on their winning success. That's what it boils down to. No one cares about the stats. When Patrick Mahomes retires and he finishes his career, I guarantee you he will not call himself the GOAT if he is 2 rings shy of Brady. I can guarantee you he won't.
You're on record. You're on record saying he doesn't need 8 rings.
I don't think he does, but I don't think we can. I also don't think we can move the goalpost for making him the greatest. And I don't know what his career is going to end up like either.
I don't know. I don't even know where we're at in this conversation, man.
I tell you where we're at, Brandon.
I'm so like you.
Listen,
you just
stop.
Go ahead.
You play to win the game. You play to win the game. You play to win Super Bowls. You don't play for season MVPs. You don't play to get average 300 yards passing a game. You play to win Super Bowls.
So
right?
In your mind, the only way he can make it is 8 rings, right?
Why? Okay. Ask Patrick Mahomes. No, stop. I'm answering your question. Ask Patrick Mahomes. Why is he going to play next year?
To win a Super Bowl. Because he wants to win 3 in a row.
But no, you're willing to look him in the face and say, you don't need to do that. You don't need to do that.
Say that. I did not say
you don't need to do that to Patrick.
When did I say that? When did I say that?
He does not need 7 rings.
I don't think he needs 7. I even pointed out a number of 5. I believe if he gets 2 more, and alongside with other accolades, he will be the greatest of all time.
I believe we can have this conversation when Patrick Mahomes retires, and we can examine the tape. We can examine the numbers. I think we're speaking in hypotheticals right now, in my opinion. Sure. Is he on trajectory? Absolutely.
And to your point about like muscling a team to a Super Bowl and winning a Super Bowl. Hey, I didn't see Brady play with some fucking bums, bro. Okay,
I agree.
And turned them into I can't even remember their fucking names sometimes.
Gronkowski,
Chris Hogan.
He won a ring without Gronkowski. Don't forget, he won 3 before Gronkowski. And he won one when Gronkowski was hurt, and he didn't play.
You said bums. I was just naming a bum. Gronkowski.
Yeah, you named one that he won 4 rings without. Continue.
Yeah, I'm just naming. You said naming a bum. I just named a bum.
Who else?
I named a bum. I named a bum. I mean,
do I think that the GOAT conversation can happen potentially without 7 rings? Potentially, sure, it could definitely happen. But again,
do y'all think there's a reason why Terry Bradshaw was never in the GOAT conversation? Even though he had just as many Super Bowls as Joe Montana, but was never in the GOAT conversation, never even in anybody's top 10. Like, why is that?
I think he might have had like 3 good seasons.
He wasn't a great quarterback.
I mean, he won 4 Super Bowls. He won 4 Super Bowls.
He played arguably with the greatest defense to ever play the game. So I don't put the Patriots in that category.
Patriots didn't have good defenses? Is that what you're saying?
I would never put them over the steel curtain. Greatest ever in NFL history.
I would never put them over the steel curtain.
I wouldn't say that.
I mean,
so where would you rank in the 20-year time period that the Patriots were on a tear throughout the NFL? Where would you rank that defense all time? Those defenses, you would rank those defenses all time in the top 5 ever?
I think they had one defense that during that time period, during their Super Bowl in those 20 years, that was not ranked in the top 10. Most of which was ranked in the top 5 every year.
No,
so again, would you rank them in the top 5 ever?
No,
defenses?
No, absolutely not.
Oh, okay. Then.
Absolutely.
So why are we having this
absolutely not.
I can't even name 5 guys on that defense. Period.
But you would rank the Steelers, the Steelers from that day, in the top 5 or top 10 ever.
I would. Absolutely.
I mean,
I guess
beat around the bush here. Me
I
personally, yes, I would.
We're just trying to figure out your logic, bro. That's all.
I'm just trying to figure out. You had a quarterback that won 4 championships, but was never regarded as the GOAT quarterback. But Joe Montana came through, won 4, and was instantly boom, right towards the top. But why is that though? Why was that?
Let me tell you this. I wasn't alive when Terry Bradshaw was on the tear. So he might have been considered one of the greatest quarterbacks at that time.
No, he wasn't.
He might have been.
He wasn't.
I mean,
sure?
in the 70s, nobody had him in their top 5?
Why didn't anybody have him in the top, even in the 80s and 90s before Joe even tied his Super Bowl record? Why is that? Why is that?
I just looked it up. I just looked it up. Terry Bradshaw led the league in passing touchdowns twice. One of them was, I don't know if this is correct. One of them was with 17 touchdowns.
And I think he is to some degree.
Another one was with 28 touchdowns.
I think he is to some degree, regarded as one of the greatest quarterbacks, depending on the time period. I think he is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, honestly, he also played in an era that wasn't a pass first era. I mean, it's not like guys were dogs. Like, can you name any quarterback pre-90 that anybody has in the top 5 ever outside of Joe Montana?
I mean, Terry Bradshaw also won NFL MVP.
That's a serious question. Can we name anybody prior to Joe Montana that we are putting in the top 5 conversation?
Bart Starr, GOAT.
No.
Johnny Unitas. A lot of people put Johnny Unitas up in the top 10 still. Just saying they truly do.
Because he fucking played 100 years ago.
They do it just because.
He's the only quarterback.
People do.
Yeah, the 80-year-old.
He's the first. He's the first GOAT. He's the first GOAT. He's the original GOAT.
First to do something don't mean
he's the original GOAT.
Yeah.
He's the original.
No. So yeah, I think that would be why.
Why what?
I mean, the era he played in. He played with a great defense. He played in a non-pass first era, and now the the measuring stick for quarterbacks is a lot different than it was 40 years ago, 50 years ago. I mean, the measuring stick's a lot different from when Joe Montana played.
It's different than what it was 15 years ago.
Yeah, I mean,
it's just what it is, man.
But at the end of the day, I mean, winning does matter. I mean, look at Drew Brees' career. Drew Brees holds. I mean, he's top 2 or 3 in almost every statistical category there is, isn't he?
Yeah.
Outside of winning,
I think he's 2 in yards and touchdowns.
Yeah, I mean, like outside of Brady, I mean, he would have been had Brady retired. I think Brady passed him up his last season, didn't he?
Yeah.
So I mean,
Brady played longer than anybody else has played.
But longevity matters.
Yeah, no, I agree
that
with
matters.
you. I agree with
that.
you.
That matters. I mean, Tom Brady did something that no one's literally ever done. I mean, the man threw for 5,000 yards at the age of 43, 44, which in football terms is 75. I mean, he was Terry Bradshaw's age out there. So, I mean, like, I think that people, and again, this is coming from a Chiefs fan. I think people really forget how good Tom Brady was as a quarterback. I think when you look at the numbers, look at his seasons, people forget that he was doing shit that was great with nobodies.
I just think it's disrespectful to just pass him up and say something like, "Oh, he's the Michael Jordan of this," or "This is Jordan-esque," and I'm like, fucking Tom Brady got more rings than Michael Jordan in football. Like, that is absurd.
Which is tough.
And he finished his career leading the all-time touchdowns and passing yards, and he's had every postseason record. Like, no, there is no Jordan-esque. Don't call me Jordan-esque. Call me Brady-esque. Like, that's what it is to me, and I don't see any argument against that.
And I think it's a great conversation we're having because it does speak to the greatness of Patrick Mahomes. Obviously, he's the only person in the league currently playing quarterback that is compared to Brady. He's the only person that is even considered to be the GOAT by some. It's the Jordan. It's going to turn into the Jordan LeBron debate eventually when he finishes his career. I think.
I would. So,
I think that's what it will turn into.
With that being said, I finish off and I would say that yes, Mahomes needs the rings. Why does Mahomes need the ring? Because I always tell you guys this. Brady did us a favor staying around and playing. He did us a favor staying around and playing against the Josh Allens and Lamar Jacksons and Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes has a Super Bowl loss. Why does he have that Super Bowl loss? Why does he have that AFC Championship game loss? Because of Tom Brady.
Or Joe Burrow.
And the thing is, we don't get to say that about LeBron and Michael Jordan because they never played each other. You know what I mean? So we don't get that head to head thing. We actually got that here. We don't have to, imagine it. It happened. It happened.
So I just want to do some quick numbers here real quick.
I mean, but it happened on a second and third year guy.
Don't give me that. Don't give me after the shit you just said about Brock Purdy. Don't give me no second year bullshit. Stop it.
No. I'm saying I'm not saying Brock Purdy can't be the guy and whatever, however many years. Right. But so do you think this Mahomes is that same talented player from 4 years ago?
If you look at Mahomes,
you don't think
season was MVP season. That was his
you don't think he's a better quarterback right now? Just put that on record. Y'all think he's a better quarterback then? That's what you're saying.
I think he's a better quarterback now, but
then my point is, do you think that this Mahomes today that game will be much different against Tom Brady?
But we're speaking in hypotheticals, Brandon, and I hate that in sports.
We are not speaking in hypotheticals. Brandon is speaking in hypotheticals.
Like, I hate that in sports, man.
We've seen them play the game, Brandon. There is no if, ands, or buts here. There is no what if.
And honestly,
that
defense got after him. But I don't like speaking in these what ifs because that's not what happened. Unfortunately,
no. That's not what happened. We can. So what if
then
Chamberlain?
Then what's the whole point of the conversation then? That Tom Brady's the GOAT, and that's always going to be held over him. Even if he
No.
gets 8 rings, then he lost to Tom Brady though.
I don't think
No,
that's the
that's
point
not.
he was
No,
making. I
that
was just saying
I said Mahomes needs the rings. You said Mahomes don't need the rings. You said
No, he
Mahomes
doesn't
is-
need 8 rings.
You
You're
said
gonna be hard pressed to
Stop.
find people
How many more
that
years-
100% agree with you that he needs 8 rings to be the GOAT.
How many years of 5,000 yards do you think that Patrick Mahomes has to get to pass Brady just in passing yards? How many more seasons? If he threw for 5K a season, I just did the numbers.
I don't know.
I go out on a limb here and I'll say 6 more.
6 more seasons. Brandon, can you give me a number?
I don't.
6 to
Just
8.
tell
Give me a
us
number.
what. 2.
2?
2.
Okay, that's fucking stupid.
I just want to hear the number. I don't give a damn.
He needs to play for 12 more seasons and throw for 5,000 yards in each season just to match what Tom Brady has done in his career. So I think we are like, again, this is coming from the biggest Chiefs fan on this podcast, even though Brandon makes it sound like he is. that shows you what he has to accomplish just to reach the peak of what Brady did in his career.
And
we cannot discredit what Brady's done.
We're not taking anything away from Mahomes. I just stopped you at the conversation when you said Jordan-esque because I think that is disrespectful to Tom Brady. That's all. That's it.
So that
and I think it's fair for me to say that. I think
Sure.
for what Brady did, Jordan didn't. If you want to cross the sport or whatever, Jordan didn't do what Brady did. It is what it is. He did not. He did not.
Jordan did more.
People forget that Jordan came back.
Jordan. Stop. If we want to talk about points, Jordan didn't finish number 1 in points. We want to talk about if you want to compare touchdowns to whatever in basketball. He didn't finish. Jordan was great. Don't get me wrong.
You're a little close to the mic, Gary.
Jordan was great. Brady was just better. It just is what it is.
The one thing I think people forget, and it's not necessarily a knock to Jordan, but Jordan did come back. This whole he went 6-0. Yep, he won every championship he ever went to, but Jordan came back in the playoffs. People forget that. He came back in the playoffs, and he fucking lost. He lost. Like, people make it seem like he went on this 6-0 run, but he came back after that third one, after playing baseball. He came back, and he didn't fucking win the game. So it's like, people talk about his greatness in the postseason. People talk about him winning finals, and sure. But there was a year where he couldn't make the fucking finals. So this whole, he went to 6 straight. No, he went to 3. He fucking lost. Then he went to 3 more. That's what happened.
He came back halfway through the season.
It doesn't matter. He came back and played. Like we would expect that of any other player we call great.
I think that's a moot. I think that's a very moot point right there.
We're not taking anything away from Mahomes. Mahomes is great. But how can you say, oh, he has a long way to go, and then also say oh, he doesn't need to do this and that? I don't understand that.
No, you're putting it just at 8 rings. That's the only thing you're looking at is 8 rings.
You're the only person here to say 8 rings.
Well, that's the only thing that's going to get your attention because that's the only. That's it. It's if he hits 8 rings, he is the greatest of all time. Is he not? Would you say that?
I would say if he matched the rings but still had those numbers.
Oh, so if he just gets 7, if he gets 7 rings, he's the greatest of all time. That's what I'm saying.
He surpassed him in all those numbers. Yeah,
all of them.
There.
You don't think that makes sense?
If he passed him a majority of statistical categories, and he had, if
he has the
6,
same amount of rings,
if he had 6,
and he will,
and I hope so.
He will. It's not even a question. He's going to.
Brandon, you just heard you just heard Dominique say he needs 12 more seasons of 5,000 yards each at least.
So that would put him at 40. They put him at the age of 40. He's 28 right now. So 12 more seasons. That was 12.15 seasons. So really needs to play 13 more seasons.
And that was 5,000 yards passed.
Yeah, 5K. And I think what he have this season.
How many does he need for touchdowns?
Let's see here. Brady has 649 touchdowns. Patrick has 200 something. Let's see here. 219 career touchdowns. So Pat needs 430 more touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
So he needs at least 10 more 40 touchdown seasons to match him in touchdowns. Which, I mean, I think he's got. I don't know if he has another several 50 touchdown seasons in his career, just based off the way that offense looks.
He'll pass some touchdowns.
So.
Here's a fun fact: 6 seasons, he's only thrown for 40 or more twice.
So it
is a tough hill to climb. He's only thrown for 5,000 yards more twice as well.
He will have to play at least another 10 seasons in order to surpass Brady.
Do y'all not think he's going to or something? Like, I don't understand.
We don't know.
He's going to.
Brandon, but listen, I don't think you're hearing the numbers. He's going to play 10, 12 more years probably. He can play till he's 40. But we're talking about 5,000 yards, 40 touchdowns each year. And what I'm saying is, you call this the great 6-year stretch. He's only done that twice.
Yeah,
that is how hard.
Brady also went to 8 straight AFC Championship games.
Don't fucking disrespect the GOAT. God damn it.
Brady also played till he was 45.
Yeah, at this rate, Mahomes might have to as well. I mean, honestly,
basically, what you're telling me is he doesn't have to play till he's 45.
We don't know that.
We
literally don't know that.
No, Brandon. What I'm saying is, at this rate, he's going to have to, because he only has 2 of those seasons so far.
If you are Patrick Mahomes, especially in the way that money is made, especially in the way that postseason careers are now set up, if I'm him, does he want to play till 40? Does he want to be Brady in the league? Does he want to be 42? Does he want to be 43 still playing? Does he want to be like Aaron Rodgers coming up on 40? Like that, those are questions we don't know until we see it. Like, he might reach a number. I mean, he's got 8 more years left on this deal. So he obviously they're going to give him a new deal, or they might restructure here in the next few years. But like, we don't know if he for sure plays that long. He's never come on record so far and said, I want to play till I'm 40. Like, I think he's enjoying the ride, and I think a lot of people are putting a lot of pressure on him prior to him being able to do what he needs to do. I think that's the biggest thing. It's like, we need to sit back and enjoy the ride. We need to sit back and enjoy the ride, because we're doing all this speculation, and if it never happens, then it's like, oh, well, like, are we gonna be mad? Are we gonna be pissed? Like I said earlier, I'm going to appreciate what he gave us in the first 6 seasons. I mean, that for your franchise guy to do that for you is enough. That's more than enough. Now, obviously, you have expectation and hope that he does more, but what he's done in 6 seasons, any franchise in the NFL right now would take that and be good for the next 5 to 10 seasons. Without a shot of it. If you ask any owner in the NFL, if you could have what the Chiefs have done in the last 6 years, or what Brady did in his first 6 years, and never win for 10 plus more seasons, they would take it.
You know who
they would all take it.
You know who would? Goddamn Colts. Yeah, because they didn't even get that with their boy. I'm telling you, jeez.
It's like, it's hard. It is really, really hard. And again, Patrick Mahomes is silencing the critics each and every season. I've been on record. I think when I said earlier, I thought that this would be the toughest road that they had to get there, and I think it was so far in his career. But the AFC is only getting better. The AFC is only getting better. NFC, sure, they're kind of on lock with their 3 perennial teams, but like,
right.
The Chargers have a new head coach. A lot can happen. Houston looks fucking good. Josh Allen's still good, but he's never done anything. Lamar Jackson's still good, hasn't done anything. Joe Burrow coming back off injury. Like, a lot can continue to happen. Like, we're going to witness some of the greatest football that we've ever seen in the next 10 plus seasons. Like, I don't.
Do y'all agree with the statement I heard? I think it was Shannon Sharp said it earlier today. The distance between 1 and 2 at the quarterback position is greater than the distance between 2 and 5.
Who's 2?
That's kind of the main point right there.
Like,
it changes every year.
Currently in the league, he's saying the distance between 1 and 2 is greater than the distance between 2 and 5.
Yeah, talent wise,
in the league right now.
Yes,
I agree with that statement.
I would agree
wholeheartedly.
Also. Yeah,
because there's.
I think the main point is it's not a clear number 2, because I think that number 2 changes every year. I think the year before it was Josh Allen, or maybe the year before that it was Joe Burrow, and now it's Lamar Jackson. Like, it's so just kind of a carousel of number 2.
Who's 5? Is 2 of 5?
Yeah, or I think that they all change. I think that number 2, in my opinion, I think it's still Burrow, if you ask me. Obviously, he got hurt this year, but he's the only other quarterback to take it there out of this new regime of quarterbacks. And Brock Purdy. I mean, I guess Jalen Hurts went to 2, or he went to 1. Did he go to 2?
Hey, but Brandon didn't say anything about the Eagles team being stacked or Cincinnati team being stacked. But goddamn, with Brock Purdy got a stacked team, it's a problem.
I mean, fuck, the Dolphins are stacked. Fastest team in the NFL. Stacked.
Purdy held his own. So
22 touchdowns out of your running back, or 23, however many he had. I mean,
all right, we can get off the Purdy band. Go ahead.
Last thing is
elite.
Let's get to another elite guy, and we can talk about GOAT status here as well. Is Harrison Butker the greatest kicker of all time?
Absolutely
Or
not.
is he the greatest postseason kicker of all time? Most clutch? I think there's an argument there. I think there's an argument for being the most clutch kicker. I think there's more argument for being the most clutch kicker ever.
I disagree. I disagree with both of those. He's not the greatest kicker ever.
I don't think he's not there yet, but
he's not Vinatieri clutch.
I wonder if we can pull up the stats.
I think Justin Tucker is still the greatest kicker ever. But Butker he's up there.
But who has sent their team who has won more games for their team, more pivotal moments for their team? I really think that is Harrison Butker.
It's Vinatieri.
I think if we're talking like currently, I think it's Harrison Butker over Justin Tucker.
If we're not talking about ever, then
has Justin Tucker been in those as many situations to do that?
He has in the regular season. He's hit like
Harrison Butker has probably played more postseason games than. Well, I don't know because he was playing with like Ray Lewis and stuff. Tucker was, so I don't know.
Right.
But I mean, I'm willing to bet Harrison Butker may have played more postseason games than Justin Tucker.
All right, I just pulled this list up of most game-winning field goals by players, and I don't know how accurate this is. This is StatMuse. So, again, first thing that came up on Google. But the number one guy is obviously Adam Vinatieri. Then you got Anderson, 2 Andersons. I don't know who either of these 2 guys are, and I apologize for any fans out there.
Morton Anderson.
Gakowski, Crosby.
Oh yes, Gakowski was
Gold.
Goat.
But I think these are also regular season. What's crazy is Butker's not even on this list.
Robbie Gold from 49ers.
Adam Vinatieri has 193. This is in the regular season. Game-winning field goals. And what he played for 20 seasons, if not more.
And he played for 2 really good
franchises. Yeah, at the time. So 193. That's a lot. That's a lot.
Automatic clutch.
He had like he had a thing going on. He has like the second most field goals made in a row. It's like he was at the streak of like 40 something. I think the record is like 50. It was like 40 something made field goals like in a row.
I just, not to cut you off, but again, I'm on StatMuse. So I searched most game-winning field goals by a player in the postseason. Do you know what this is why I don't know if this is accurate. The number one player on this list, would you like to take a guess?
Who is it?
It's Tom Brady. It says Tom Brady has 35 postseason field goals.
Field goals?
Yes. And then it's Vinatieri with 21. 20 with Gakowski. I mean,
what's the stat again?
Maybe they mean wins, or
maybe I don't know.
I think they got him mixed up with because he probably does have 35 wins.
Yeah, because then it says which kicker has the most game wins. Now it says 599. There's no way that's. Oh, those are field goals made. Okay, field goals made. That makes sense. So, all right, man. Anything else y'all want to talk about, man?
What you got for us?
I mean, we're an hour and 15 in. We're not going to get to the other shit that we had for a regular episode. This was purely a Super Bowl recap. Takeaway: Brandon thinks that Patrick Mahomes will be the greatest quarterback to ever play the game, despite if he doesn't win 7 Super Bowls. Gary disagrees with that. I believe time will tell. I'm not going to move the goalpost. I think with 6, we could definitely have the conversation. I think with 6.
You changed your whole argument from this beginning of this year. I hope you won't. We'll go back to that first episode.
That's fine. People can change their minds. People can change their minds.
Remember that first episode, Gary? He goes,
said,
I believe with 3, he could call him to go.
Say that. But I think I also said that if he leads in every statistical category, we can have the conversation.
Like I said, sometimes we get caught. Sometimes we get caught up in the moment. It's okay to get to, like I said the other day, it's okay to live in the moment and not. He is the
most talented player I have personally ever seen at the quarterback position, and it's not even close. It's not even close. He can do more with his legs and with the football than any other quarterback I have ever seen.
Without 3 wins in the Super Bowl, let's say you just went to 4 trips to the Super Bowl and he lost all of them. Will we still be having this conversation? Would we still be having this conversation about Patrick Mahomes if he either went to 4 Super Bowls and lost all 4, or if he had no wins, period?
Do we have a conversation about Jim Kelly?
I'm asking you.
It'd be the same thing.
I'm talking about Jim Kelly. Okay,
no, but Jim Kelly wasn't regarded as talented. So.
Yeah, so that kind of goes back to the you got to win thing. Like, you know,
no, 100%.
If there's no Super Bowls, there's no conversation. So then it's like, well, if you got 3,
yeah, or you can say that about anything. We can say that about LeBron. You can go back to the LeBron conversation. Will we have this conversation about LeBron if he didn't win anything? No, we wouldn't. We wouldn't have this conversation about LeBron either. So you can literally go anywhere with that. It's yes, you have to win. Nobody ever deny you have to. Yes, you absolutely have to win.
But you just don't have to win as much as this guy.
Right, like just how Jordan didn't have to win 11 to be regarded as the greatest. And
Brandon, but
he won 6. He won 6 with a million other accolades on top of that. That's why he was the greatest. Like it's common sense.
A rundown of how great Patrick Mahomes has to be over the next so long,
and watch him continue being great.
He's on trajectory to do what Brady did. He's on trajectory to have the Jordan-esque career. Jordan prevented a lot of guys from winning. Brady prevented a lot of guys from winning over 20 plus seasons. And Patrick Mahomes so far has prevented every AFC quarterback besides Joe Burrow from winning. Joe Burrow lost that game. But he's basically prevented a lot of quarterbacks from having the opportunity to even make it to the big game. So, yes, I think he's on pace, but I think the proper term is Brady-esque career. I mean, Brady is the gold standard, unfortunately. It is. Like Brady is the gold standard. Brady has the wins. Brady has the accolades. Just like you said about Jordan, he didn't have to have 11 because he had all these other things. But Brady has 7 plus all those other things. So it's hard to have one without the other. So yeah, at this point, looking at the numbers, it is going to be very tough for any quarterback to ever match what Brady has done so far in yards. That's just me speaking objectively here. It is going to be very hard for any quarterback to do that.
Is it possible? It's absolutely possible.
It's possible for sure, but that is a fucking stretch. Like, again, he's going to have to play in his 40s to do this. And he's going to have to throw for 5K every single year.
And don't forget, Brady played 23 years. 20 of those came without the extra game. Okay? So if Pat Mahomes plays 12 more years or whatever, he's getting an extra game every year.
Yeah. But hopefully he's not playing in that last game. I mean, that's the expectation. That's the expectation.
Right.
But yeah, so I think is it possible? Yes. I don't like speaking prematurely about things. I like to enjoy the moment. I want to enjoy his career. I want to enjoy what he's doing for Kansas City. I'm appreciative of it. I'm going to be at the parade on Wednesday. I'm going to be having the time of my life, and that's what I'm looking forward to. I'm living in the moment currently. So I'm not going to dwell too much about next season and so on and so forth. The only thing I'll say about next season is, do I think it's possible to go back to back to back? Absolutely. Not going to count them out.
And I'll end on saying,
count them out.
I enjoy watching greatness, and I enjoy watching high-level competitors, and I enjoy watching guys who, in pivotal moments, can just turn it on and do their thing. When I was sitting here, because I left halftime because of the baby, sitting here watching the game, and I'm not bullshitting. I looked at my wife. I said, if they kick this field goal, it's over. She thought I was talking about the game. Because when Patrick Mahomes, she's like, well, maybe you're right. I was like, no. I was talking about it's over because he is that dude. He has that gear. Some guys are just special. Some guys just got it. And that's literally the next day when I was talking to my son, I literally said, live this up because you are at this age where you get to watch someone be great. I've seen it. And I at a young age, at your age, but I didn't pay close enough attention to it. And I mean that for any guys too. I also mean that with like Shohei. Watch Shohei Ohtani because this ain't going to ever come around again. I don't know if we're going to see another Patrick Mahomes. I don't know if we're going to see a quarterback that do everything that he does again. We're going to see another. We're going to see another Lamar because the Colts drafted him. We're going to see that. We're going to see. I mean, I'm dead serious. I mean, like we're going to see another one.
I think that we did witness greatness, but we also witnessed greatness. I'll say it again, on the defensive side of the ball. That blocked extra point. We're not having this conversation about if they kick that field goal. Watch this, game's over.
It's just crazy to me.
Like that defense did so much.
It's the getting caught up in the moment thing for me. I'm watching TV and I hear Shannon Sharp and them talk about, oh, this is the toughest playoff run in history and what he went through the team. And I'm like, bro, I literally watched Brady at the age of 40-something take down legends, including Patrick Mahomes. He literally went through Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, and Patrick Mahomes. But for some reason, we get like amnesia and we forget like what the hell this guy did and how great he was. And so we want to say Jordan era. Like, what the fuck? Like, where did Jordan? It is. That is disrespectful.
You got to also, I mean, yes, Mahomes we can look at the numbers.
Mahomes is not chasing Jordan. He's not chasing Jordan.
We can always do this, but it comes down as looking at the athlete themselves. I don't want my son to fucking look at Tom Brady. I don't give a fuck. Look at Patrick Mahomes. He's a fucking athlete. Tom Brady is not an athlete. He's a guy that could throw the fucking football pretty damn well. That is it. That's it. I see a guy over here making plays with his fucking legs, doing everything he can for that offense.
Do you know who
that's
Patrick
what I
Mahomes
see.
Studies in the offseason?
He probably studies Tom Brady. Why wouldn't you study Tom Brady? Tom Brady is great. I am not saying Tom Brady is not great. Listen, I am not saying Tom Brady is not great. But what I am saying is this man takes over games and just does everything. Everything.
Brandon, he just takes over games differently. You act like we haven't seen game-winning drives from Tom Brady. It's just differently. And so the difference is Tom Brady will get up to the line and he'll call audibles and he'll switch shit around. Okay,
just like what Patrick Mahomes is doing.
Patrick Mahomes will run around in circles and I mean it's just it's backyard football. It's just
Patrick Mahomes is doing everything. He was checking out of plays also. He was doing everything.
I'm gonna ask this and this we can finish on this because this is coming from an objective point of view. This is not coming from a fan's point of view. If Greenlaw doesn't go out on an Achilles injury, and if Moody doesn't hit that low punt or that low field goal, does the trajectory of this game change?
That's not even where it was lost. There was IU came across the middle, wide open. In overtime, in the end zone, they blew a blocking assignment. The 49ers would have scored a touchdown right there. That one play was the game. They had to settle for the field goal.
I think that Patrick Mahomes is the greatest. I think he is, as a fan, from a fan perspective, for sure. He's the GOAT. He's my GOAT, 100%. But I think that if you watch that game, he took over in the second half. Based on injury after injury and based on the middle of the field finally opening up. I mean, that's literally what changed in that game. The middle of the field for the entire first half was not open. There's a reason why they went into the half with 3 points. And the moment that Greenlaw went out, the middle of the field opened up. And Travis Kelce turned up. Rashee Rice turned up. All those balls were thrown across the middle. Most of them were. Or these crossing routes where a dominant athlete wasn't running with them. So I think when you watch the game in its totality, yes, Patrick Mahomes took over that game and he was able to win. He was able to will his team to, an overtime victory. I'm not going to count him out with 2 minutes left on the clock for sure. But I think there was at times, and I know it's just because of the way the quarterback position is played, they're the only ones looked at. But from a football perspective of a person who loves the game of football, we take away so much more for what the entire team contributes to the success of that team.
I don't think anybody's taking anything away. Nobody's taking anything away from
I think the real MVP of that, the real MVP of that Super Bowl was the defense, in my opinion. It absolutely was.
No, because
absolutely was.
There's that defense played amazing, and they played well as a team, as an organized unit. But that game is won by Patrick Mahomes at the end of the game.
I think
point blank.
I don't think that Patrick Mahomes will win that game without that defense playing that well.
Agreed, because they're a team. Yes.
I want you to say the same thing about Brady's Super Bowl against the Falcons. Brady went out and he won that game.
Yeah, he did. What would you want me to say? He didn't?
Because you always like to bring up the Patriots and Brady's defenses, but then and give them credit or give the kicker credit. The kicker drove 70 fucking yards down the field.
I just said their defense played well. The Chiefs' defense played well, but that game was won.
You use that to take credit away from Brady, but in this situation, you're not doing the same.
Yeah, I mean, to Gary's
Tom
point,
Brady,
you bring up the fact that the Patriots had a top 10 defense, and you use that as a reasoning behind why Brady.
They did.
Okay,
they did.
So use it on this Chiefs defense. Use it on this Chiefs defense.
They did.
Use it on this
exact same scenario.
I've also seen
the exact same scenario.
Where was it? Where was the Chiefs defense ranked on his first Super Bowl?
I don't know.
Do you remember?
I don't remember, 22nd or something.
Yeah. So I mean, I've also seen this man win with a lower ranked defense. Just like,
and he also had Tyreek Hill.
Just like
Travis Kelce. I mean,
absolutely did. So, also, just like somebody else I saw win with the 27th ranked defense, and that man's name was Peyton Manning.
What year was
that? He also had multiple top 10 defenses as well.
Yeah. He also won his last Super Bowl with
he had 8. He won his first Super Bowl with the 27th ranked defense.
He had 8 top 10 defenses and didn't do shit with them.
He's not even in the conversation anymore.
He had 8.
He's
Peyton Manning.
I'm just saying.
Had 8.
I'm just saying. I've seen
10 defenses.
I mean,
Peyton Manning had 8 top 10 defenses.
Why are we even talking about Peyton Manning? Why are we talking about Peyton Manning? He's not even in the conversation anymore.
I don't know. Can you show me this 8 top 10 ranked defenses?
I'll be glad to show it to you. I'll be glad.
Yeah, please go ahead. Show it to me.
We can implement it on here
right now.
But we're talking about
We don't care.
great quarterback versus great quarterback. We're talking about great quarterbacks versus great quarterbacks. I mean, that's what they do. They find ways to win. At the end of the day, that's it.
We're comparing the greatest quarterback to the greatest quarterback. That's what we're doing at this point.
Okay, then they both find ways to win. I don't know what you want me to say about this.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. Defense wins championships. This defense helped this Chiefs team win a championship.
Absolutely.
Wait. Hey, I'm sorry, sir. The 2002 Colts defense was 7th. The 2005 Colts defense was 2nd. Both of those defenses lost in the first playoff game. 2007 Colts defense, 1st in points allowed, 3rd in yards allowed. Lost in the first playoff game. The 2008 Colts defense, 8th in points allowed, 11th in yards allowed.
Wait. Why'd you skip over 2006 defense?
They wasn't top 10.
He just told
where were they?
You asked about him having 8 top 10 defenses.
These are his 8 top 10 defenses that he had.
Why are you just skipping over the 2006 one though? You skipped right over them.
You already mentioned that they were 20 something. But what I'm saying is he had 8 top 10 defenses, lost in the first playoff game, lost first playoff game, lost in Super Bowl 2009 Colts.
Who's your source on these defenses?
Lost first playoff game. What the? You go to NFL.com and look at it.
What source are you looking at?
Lost.
You looking at NFL.com?
Lost in
Is
first
that what you're
playoff
looking?
game.
You're looking at NFL.com. I'm
Lost-
asking for a source here.
Lost first play.
Peyton what is your source?
Bounced in the first round more than anybody in the history of sports.
What is your source?
Ridiculous.
What is your source for these defenses?
And the only competitor he had was Tom Brady. AFC wasn't stacked like it is now. The AFC was pretty fucking weak back then, honestly.
AFC was weak.
It was weak.
In 05?
The AFC had
Who were the
a
best
damn
teams back
expansion team in like 2002. I think the Texans were born.
They were like the East of the NBA.
I believe
in 05 we had the Chiefs. They weren't very good. We had the
Colts,
Broncos.
The Colts
they weren't very good.
were ranked 7th, and this is a Pro Football Reference. So they were ranked 7th in defense.
Very reliable source.
No, that ain't no reliable source. I'll show you a reliable source.
That's literally all the stats that you can rely on.
At this point, I don't care about Brady. Or not Brady. I don't care about Peyton Manning. Don't give a shit about what he's
How
doing.
How many ranked defenses did the Patriots have in that time period?
Let's see.
We're just killing airtime at this point.
Yeah.
You talk about a mute point. This shit don't matter.
They really don't, because Tom Brady was winning with those top defenses.
Yeah. It's a big difference. Anything else we want to hit on, man? What else we got? Let's not have a moment of silence here, unless we want to do it for the 49ers fans.
Yeah.
Bucker, Mr. Clutch. Can the Chiefs get 3 in a row? Overtime rules. What's next for the Chiefs? We can finish on that. Obviously, we're going to be losing a lot of key components on this team. Donovan Smith will be gone. Kadarius Toney is not a key piece, but he will also be gone. Man, that's unfortunate, man. To be healthy and not even be activated for the Super Bowl, that's got to be a terrible feeling. But he's got a ring. He got 2 of them now. He'll probably sell one in the future.
I think it's well deserved.
Oh, absolutely. Bro, you've been given opportunity after opportunity. If Andy Reid can't figure something out with you, that's a problem. That's a problem.
He's been
like even Justin
like
Ross went through whatever he went through. He's still on the team. You know,
Right.
He's still on the team. He got in the playoffs, I think. Obviously you've got some contracts coming up with Creed. You've got Nick Bolton will be coming up pretty soon. Well, he's got the first round picks. He got 5-year options, second round pick. You've got Willie Gay. He'll probably be gone. Justin Reed's coming up. I mean, you got a lot of gaps to fill in this Kansas City Chiefs team, but in Veach we trust, as we say. So, in Veach we trust.
As long as you keep Chris Jones, you're good.
Yeah, Chris Jones is as good as gone, brother.
Yeah, he out of here.
Didn't Veach just come out and say he's going to do whatever it takes to keep him?
But if you didn't do whatever it took to get him before the season started. Like at this point, what's it like?
They did. They kept him.
They
kept him.
He basically signed he got his money back that he lost, and
then he said at the end of the year he wants to stay at the press conference with Boomer.
That's what
he was
everybody's
like
supposed to say, man.
He didn't even. It wasn't even asked. He just said he's like I need to do whatever they need to do to keep me here because I want to go for another one.
Yeah, but Brett Veach ain't gonna pay him. He's not.
Aren't they supposed to be restructuring Patrick Mahomes?
It don't matter. Who in the last 5 years outside of Patrick Mahomes, who on this team has gotten paid? Yeah.
I don't know.
You're fucking right. You're fucking right.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Nobody.
I don't know.
Nobody's gotten paid. Tyreek wanted to get paid. He probably would have gotten paid had he not had that mishap a few years ago. Tyreek didn't get paid. Chris Jones sat out to get paid. He did not get paid. Like nobody on this team is getting paid. Brett Veach he's going to keep drafting and he's going to fill spots, and that's what they're going to do. Like that's the Brett Veach and Andy Reid way. I don't see them unless Chris Jones is willing to take a pay cut, which he shouldn't.
I'm willing to bet right now.
He's got 3 rings. He should not have to take a pay cut at this point.
Let's bet a bottle on it.
No, because you don't pay your bets. You still haven't brought the other bottle.
Let's buy the bottle on it. Double or nothing bottle.
No, I'm not doubling nothing. Give me what you owe me, then we can have the conversation.
Chris Jones will be on the team start of 2024 season.
I don't think so. I think if you're his agent, you basically embarrass your client by doing this whole, this song and dance the entire off seasons to not get him what he needed. Like you're going to ensure that he gets
Chris Jones wants to stay.
Yes, that every player wants to stay, but they also want to get paid. They also
They're
want to
gonna
get
make
paid.
a deal happen.
Tyreek could have
He's a-
stayed for $5 less a year than he makes now. He chose
He
not to. He chose to get paid.
he's an aging defensive tackle.
But I
He is
hate the
going.
term aging because, bro, we're in such a different league now. Guys are playing well into their 30s and still playing elite. Aaron Donald, what, 35, 36? Bro, he was in St. Louis, like before the Rams even went to LA. Like he's like this whole aging thing, it doesn't exist, bro.
Is Aaron Donald the same Aaron Donald he was 4 years ago? You think so?
Bro.
2 years ago he was.
He's still getting triple team.
They're still.
You
showing
think
him a
he's
lot of
still
respect.
that dude that's this season?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. I didn't see any wear and tear on that man at all. I didn't watch a lot of LA games, but I didn't see any wear and tear on him. Like, I mean,
the numbers say otherwise, but
Chris Jones
What numbers, Brandon? You can't, when it comes to those type of plays or those type of players, you can't just, especially on the defensive side of the ball, you can't just say, okay, is Sauce Gardner as good as he was last year? Is it because he didn't have the interceptions? No,
you don't go based off interceptions. You go
okay,
based,
so
they
what
got,
numbers
they have a whole
off of?
metric. They got targets in your area. They got a whole stat for that now.
So when it comes to Aaron Donald, what are you doing? What you said based off the numbers is not.
Well, he has
What
less
numbers?
sacks than he had the
No,
last
he
2
generates
seasons.
sacks, Brandon.
I understand. No, Gary, we've had this whole conversation. I get that.
Right. So
But-
you can't say that he's not the same player because he don't have as many sacks.
Yes, you can.
Even though he's getting doubled and triple team more than he was 4 years ago. Or
No,
whatever.
he's not though. He's not. There's a metric for that. Look it up. They just posted all this stuff. They literally ESPN just posted all this stuff. He is not seeing the same amount of double and triple teams as he was years prior. They literally just posted that.
I
Like,
mean,
come on.
For a guy who is 32 years old, he finished the season with 8 sacks. I mean, I don't know what else you can expect out of interior lineman. He had a 20 sack season, which was historical, but other than that, 12, 13, 12, 5, and 8. Like, I mean, if anything, he only played 11 games last season, but he's having a good season for a guy who's 32. Giving you 8 sacks for a guy who's 32.
Games? 8 sacks in 11 games at the defensive tackle position.
No, that was last year. Last year, this year he played 16 games.
Oh, okay.
I don't see them paying him. I don't think that Chris Jones is an aging guy. I just don't see it. Here, Aaron Donald double team percentage right here in 2023. Let me see if I can pull this up. Let's see here. Mike, you fucking talking, man. You act like you ain't never been on a podcast before. Good Lord.
It says 63%.
Yeah, he literally was. Yeah. This year he was double teamed 63%. The only other 2 guys above him were Chris Jones and Dexter Lawrence. So I mean, I'd have to see what the previous year looked like, but let's see here. Is there a way I can look into 2020, 2022? I don't know. I'm gonna have to disagree with you, Brandon. He's 32. Chris Jones.
I disagree with me. Disagreeing with ESPN stats that they posted up
we
just
looked
like
at the stats.
2 weeks ago.
He was double teamed this season 63% on plays.
No, they were saying his double and triple teams went down from 2 years prior.
So in 2021 we're talking about.
From the past 2 seasons.
2021 season? Let's see here. 2021 DT double team percentage. I mean, you gotta somehow have this these stats when you're ready. I don't know. We're gonna have to pull this up some
I
other
don't know
time.
how to go back.
Yeah, it just shows you. Let's see here. This was. I don't really give a shit. Chris Jones is 29 years old. He is aging, but he's still obviously showing a ton of promise. We saw. I mean, he was the reason why Brock Purdy overthrew that touchdown pass. I mean, otherwise that was a touchdown if Chris Jones doesn't get in on that play. So will he be paid? That is left to be seen. I don't think that he will be on this roster. I hope he is. I'm very hopeful that he is. But that's neither here nor there. So anything else you want to talk about? Both buried in your phone, so I don't think we got anything else we want to dig into right now.
I think we're done.
We've hit on it.
It was a great episode. We established the GOAT. We established the baby GOAT that's well on his way, but still got a long way to go. But somehow he's not chasing the GOAT. He's chasing Another baby goat.
Never said that he was chasing Jordan.
He's
I said
chasing a
this is
basketball
Jordan
player.
S stuff.
But if it's
even
so
Jordan didn't do this.
only
at
one
this
person did this,
like
and it ain't Jordan.
Jordan didn't
So why
do this.
It's such the disrespect.
Jordan's first 6 seasons, he
And
didn't
he's
win.
going to keep getting.
I don't even know how we compare it to Jordan at this point. He literally didn't win his first 6 seasons. He played good
Didn't
basketball.
say Jordan did. Didn't
Well,
say
you
Jordan
said-
did.
You said Jordan-esque. He's doing
I
something
said
Jordan
this
never
is
did.
this is
how is
Jordan
that-
level.
What?
When
He's
you're
better
when
than
you're
Jordan.
watching him, this
He's
is
better than
greatness.
Jordan. He's better than
When you
Jordan.
watch Jordan, it was greatness. Period. That's what we were watching greatness.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm saying.
Honestly, this is disrespectful to.
When we
to
watch
not
Tom
only
Brady, we watch greatness.
but
When we
it's also
watch
disrespectful
Peyton
to
Manning,
Mahomes.
we watch greatness. When we watch Mahomes, we watch greatness in a lot of guys. But
And you're watching it right now with Patrick Mahomes.
yeah,
Yes, we are.
We are.
Most
Soak it in.
definitely. We most definitely are.
oh, I'm soaking
But
it in.
Then I don't know what the harm of saying that is, but go ahead.
Brady-esque is more of a compliment.
It's not. That's not a compliment you're gonna hear from me. So there we go. Play the music.
You
Let's
gotta
get out of
get
here.
out of that.
He's a
You
Colts
gotta
fan. It's
get
okay.
out of that and
He's a Colts fan.
be a student of the game.
I think
Just-
Jordan is one of
He's
the
a Colts
greatest
fan.
competitors I've ever watched in my life.
And so is
And
Tom fucking
I'm-
Brady. Are you
and I'm
kidding me?
watching.
Tom
and I'm
Brady is more of a competitor
I'm
than
not.
Jordan ever
I'm
was.
not saying. I'm not saying Tom Brady was not a great competitor. In my opinion, when it comes to competitor, when it comes to that dog mentality, when it comes to wanting to bite your head off, that was Michael Jordan.
Oh my god.
Another person like that.
Tom Brady has surpassed Michael Jordan in everything. The
Okay.
competitiveness, the anything you want to
Honestly,
name.
I'm going to finish on this. I'm going to disagree with you. And just based off
That's
of
fine.
things that I've
That's fine.
seen, based off of his post-career interviews, based off him on the sidelines, based off the things he's done in his career, there is no greater competitor, in my opinion, than Tom Brady. I will
And
always
that-
say Tom
that is-
Brady is the greatest competitor.
It's
I think
amazing
Patrick
how he
Mahomes-
can have
Patrick
his
Mahomes might be the-
opinion. He literally
Patrick Mahomes
said,
might be
"In
the
my
best."
opinion," but
Yeah,
I
sure.
have my opinion, and it's like
Well, nothing you said-
shed on. So
nothing
it's
you
just
said
like it
earlier-
just like doesn't make any sense. He literally finished that sentence with said, "In my opinion," but I say my opinion. It just doesn't make any damn sense to me.
I
So
started that
let's
by
just
saying,
end the show.
I started that by saying I disagree with you. Did I not?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, and then
That's
I said
fine,
it-
and that's
then I
fine to
said it-
do.
And then I said, in my opinion. So nobody
you
shit
go.
on you. Did I shit on you? Do we want to run the tape back?
All right.
All right.
Well, I
Okay.
will say this. In my opinion, nobody's going to fucking agree with you, bro.
Okay,
That's my opinion.
He also
that's
spent the
fine.
entire episode talking about how he's the GOAT. There wasn't a fucking opinion base. He was just saying he will be the GOAT. But we're going to roll the tape. We'll find out in 10 seasons if he does it. 12 seasons, 13 seasons, 15 seasons. And as a
He
Chiefs
might,
fan,
hey, and he might not
Patrick
be,
Mahomes, I hope you do it. I hope you do. No, it might not be. Motherfucker, you've been saying
No.
this whole episode. He's the fucking GOAT.
and he
He's
might
the
not
GOAT.
be. He
Ain't no
might
not be. He's the fucking
he
GOAT.
might.
Don't backtrack
Hey,
that
man,
shit now. He's the
stand
GOAT.
on business. Stand on business.
I'm not backtracking.
Stand
I'm
on
just,
business.
I'm just saying he
No,
might not be. He might,
He's the GOAT.
you don't
Patrick
think
Mahomes
he's
is
going to
the
be?
GOAT.
You don't think
No,
he's going
the
to
GOAT.
be?
I'm standing on business.
Then-
He's the GOAT.
You don't
Fuck, I
think
ain't
he's
walking
going to
shit
be?
back.
You don't
I'm
think he's
standing
going to
on
be?
business. He's the
I
fucking
think.
GOAT.
I think he's going to be the greatest of
no,
all
fuck
time.
that think shit. He's the
But
GOAT. Stand on business.
okay. Now you're all strong about Patrick
I'm trying to
Mahomes.
help
Like
you
oh
out.
now
trying to
he's
help
the
you out.
man. Now
I'm
he's
trying
the
to-
man.
I'm trying to
But
help
in
you
my
out,
opinion,
man.
But
Nah,
in my
you-
opinion, Tom
Fuck.
Brady,
He's
Tom
talking about
Brady
now he's
is.
talking about
But
might be.
he's the
This might be
man. Hey,
shit.
stay strong on
He don't
it.
even-
But in
he don't
my
even believe this shit
opinion,
he's talking about.
But in my
He
opinion,
don't even
Tom
believe this shit
Brady
he
is
talking
the
about.
guy.
This brother.
Okay.
Hey, man.
Okay.
Brother, this guy stinks!
Oh, man, we lost him already?